I made a video editor in Microsoft Excel. It's fine. If you don't care about the background and just want me to get to the point, you can skip past this chapter and go to the next chapter. For everyone else, here's the background. So I was thinking about the DaVinci Resolve chess video from the other day where I made 3D chess in DaVinci Resolve. For context, because DaVinci has a Python scripting API and a 3D video editing workspace, it's possible to automate certain activities and also to integrate with a Stockfish backend in order to get it to play chess with you. Anyway, I was thinking about that because the video did pretty good in the scheme of videos on this channel, so I was wondering what other software I could make in software that isn't intended to be used in the way that I'm using it, and that made me think about the dynamic pair videos on making Football Manager in Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel has a developer mode using a language called Visual Basic, and you can use that programming language to develop macros that let you automate certain activities, and also that let you add control buttons to your spreadsheets to perform those automations. That made me think about the other video I did where I made that Node.js program that generates voiceovers for me from clips stitched together from my other videos. If you combine all of this information, what conclusion do you naturally reach? That's right. I should get a job. I should make a video editor in Microsoft Excel. So that's what I decided to do with like a free afternoon the other day. I would learn enough Visual Basic and batch file stuff to let me make an Excel front end for a basic video editor. No bells and whistles or anything. This is just going to be an extremely basic, lets you make scenes and move and rotate an image around on a background with subtitles kind of program. So that concludes the context. In a moment I'll show you an example render from the system I made, but before I do, I think that you should subscribe to the channel if you want. If you don't want to, that's also okay, but you won't be notified every 6 months when I make another video asking if I should buy a Vespa on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. While you're following me on things, you should also follow me on Twitch, where this Sunday, August 30th at 9 PM UK, I will be live streaming me reading the first entry in the Italian dictionary. Every Sunday, I'll be reading the next entry in the dictionary until I finish reading them all. I'll be reading one entry at a time until one of us dies. Anyway, back to the video. In the interest of continuity, I have remade the intro to this video in Excel. Here's how it came out. I am making a video with editing software in Microsoft Excel. If you don't care about the background, and I think I should start the video with real. Okay. Anyway, so this video editor actually existed in two versions. The first was just a simple list that contained all of the file names of voice lines to use in order, the text to show up over the top, and an optional field for whether it should have an image in the middle of the screen. This was even less fancy than the current version, if you can believe it. It was basically a slideshow. The new version is still kind of a slideshow, but as you saw, it also had movement and rotation and resizing of the images it was using, which was pretty neat. It's not quite on the level of some of my personal advanced editing techniques, such as having more than one image on the screen at the same time, but from this small seed shall a great oak tree grow. Eventually, if I ever remember to come back to this project. So here's the V2 version. As you can see, it has a rudimentary preview window that shows you where the optional foreground element starts and ends in relation to the center of the screen. You can tinker with the settings to change this and it updates dynamically. However, you may want it to display more than one voice line, which is what these buttons are for. This lets you change the active scene and updates the preview window and settings options in real time. Once you have all of the scenes you want, you need only switch to the render tab, hit the render button, and all of the individual clips will be rendered and stitched together. If you added music to the first scene, that music will be overlaid over the entire video. And that's pretty much it, actually. The next section is code, so I understand if at this point you crash out. So for those of you who don't care how it works, cool. Thanks for watching, and make sure to ring the bell or whatever it is now on the way out. May I recommend typing impact font into google.com. For everyone else, code time, I guess. I don't know, this video sucks. So here's how the video editor works. Basically, the settings recorded on this front end are transmitted to the back end every time the user selects a new cell. That takes the details in these cells and transmutes it into one of these rows based on what the current scene is. Scene 0 is A2, scene 1 is A3, etc, etc. Then every time the user clicks one of these buttons, it updates the current scene and runs an update function. That takes the data from the relevant row based on the current scene, if the scene exists, and transmutes it into the front end. Then when you change those settings, they get communicated to the new row. You can also delete scenes, except for scene 0, because then the system would break probably, and that just erases the current row and moves you back one scene. For these drop-downs, it uses a data validation based on the contents of these lists, but it also captures new additions to the lists. In the previous version of this editor, you could press a button that would auto-populate the file names to the list so that you would always be up to date. I haven't added it to the new one because I forgot. Finally, there's rendering. When you press this button, the Visual Basic backend transmits the data for each scene to a Node.js program via a batch file that looks like this. All of these arguments correspond to the arguments in this command string for things like the file name of the foreground element, the current subtitle where the image should start and end positionally, and that data gets passed to a combination image compositor and Fluent FFMPEG system that produces a single video with a given output name. It does this either by simply taking a still frame of the image if it isn't moving and putting the audio over the top of it, or generating a bunch of frames with the composited image moving from the start position and rotation to the finish. It works test this out by calculating the duration of the audio file, dividing it by 60 to get the number of frames for the duration, and then doing a bunch of boring maths to turn that into the intermediate points between the start and target values, among us. When Visual Basic detects that the video exists, it breaks out of a do-while loop and runs the program again. This generates a new output video with a new name using a new row. When it finally gets to an empty row, it's completed the process of making individual clips. It can then pass the final command to the program to stitch the video together and add music if any is required. Once the video is stitched together and the music is added, the process is complete and you can upload it to YouTube or perhaps Vimeo. That concludes the boring code part of the video and brings us to the end of the video part of the video. This is the end of the video where I talk about what I would do with this next if I remember to work on it again, which I probably won't. There's a few things I would like to do. For one, it would be nice if you didn't have to only use the funny royalty-free paper image that I keep using in my videos for some reason and instead could use something else. I do also have this nagging feeling that I'm cheating a little bit by having the Excel spreadsheet basically be a front end for a Node.js FFmpeg application. It would be cool if it was calling the FFmpeg commands directly inside Excel, but I decided not to for this version because Fluent FFmpeg looks like this, and regular FFmpeg scares me. On the other hand, Fluent FFmpeg isn't being maintained anymore, so maybe this is the time to make the jump? I don't know. Either way, I'll poke at it a bit more, and when it's ready for people to try, I'll make a community post on my YouTube channel with the details. In the meantime, if you want more content of me making stuff in software that wasn't intended for the stuff being made, here's the DaVinci video I was telling you about. Alternatively, if you don't care about that, here's another thing that YouTube thinks you'll watch. I don't know. Alright, thanks for watching. For more information,